Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about a very huge key that I believe will radically change your life. I think sometimes we walk through this life thinking, oh yeah, I'm confident in who I am, and I look at myself and I'm like, you can say, oh, I'm a mom, I'm a successful business owner, whatever these things are, right? We kind of like build our identity in the things that we do. But one of the huge keys is that God didn't call us my doer. He said my beloved. And so, He actually created us to be loved and to love other people and truly know what it means, like what love truly means. And so I think a lot of us, you just grow up in a world that's hard, right? We live in a fallen world and it's hard at times. And a lot of us don't know what love is. And I want to say that the number one key is we have to love ourselves. So I want to ask you this vulnerable question. If you really love you, do you love who you are? And it's okay to just be very real and honest with yourself right now, because this is so key in order to propel us into our destiny, in order to, love others well, which is so important. So I encourage you, I'm going to give you some strategic plans that you can start doing to start to love yourself. And I think that everyone should do this. I still do it every day. I pray over myself and I decree and declare who I am every day, because we have the stressors of life and we have an enemy that comes in and he wants to tell us, or these things, outside things, whatever you want to believe, we have these outside things that come in to try and bombard your mind to tell you who you're not. There's all these unrealistic fears, right? Like even me doing these videos, I remember when I first started doing a live and doing a video, and even still to this day, I'll go get on and do a live on my Facebook page and I'll be like, it's a little nerve-wracking. However, I'm realizing that this is part of me. This is my true destiny. I actually thrive when I get to love other people. It's part of who I am. It's part of my DNA. I truly love encouraging other people. But there was so much resistance in order to do that. Why? Because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't love that part of me yet. I didn't get into that deep crevice inside of my heart to really believe in who I am and all that I'm created for. So I want to start giving you keys to start doing every day. And they're simple. They really are. They're pretty simple. It's just you have to be diligent in doing these things, because as I've said before, our words are powerful and they come from our minds, and once we have them up here, then it can get into here. And our heart is where we really need to allow things to be manifested, because our heart, there's an amazing magnetic field from our heart that starts attracting things to us. Okay? It really is important. And it works either way. It works with negativity or it works with positivity, like I've talked about before. But this is such a huge key. We have to love ourselves. So I want you to make a list of all the amazing things that you are right now. And if you can't do this, I just want to ask you to really go to the Lord, ask God to show you who He says you are. And if you're not a believer, you don't believe in God, that's fine. Go find a friend, go find a family member that you really trust, that you really trust and love, and ask them to write out things about you. And then on top of that, I want you to start thinking about all the things that you want to do. Even if it's just this tiny, tiny bit that you're I would love to do that, but there's no way. We have those things, even for me, back in the day, I was oh my gosh, even though I haven't done it yet, but I've always thought, oh, I'd love to be a public speaker. I'd love to sing in front of thousands of people, millions of people. But back in the day, I was oh, there's no way I'd be able to do that. But now, as I've been growing and really loving myself and challenging myself to step out and do these things like these videos, I'm overcoming my fears. I'm using the opportunity, or I'm using the opposition as my opportunity, right? I've talked about those before too. So make a list of all the things that are good about yourself. Everything. And you should be saying, if you're a woman, I am beautiful inside and out. Women, this is one of our biggest things that are attacked. It's our outside bodies. It's the way we think about ourselves. And what happens is when we don't think good about ourselves out here, that starts to deteriorate inside. So I really challenge you to love you the way that you are. Love your size, love your wrinkles, love your scars, love your all the things, okay? Love it. Learn to love you. So write down all those things that you love about yourself, that you see about yourself, that you possibly even have a little glimpse, but you think, oh, that could never happen. Write it down. And then I want to challenge you to start reading these out loud over yourself, looking in the mirror every morning for 5 minutes and every night for 5 minutes. And now if you're a believer, you can do these in a prayer. You can say like for me, I'm like, Lord, I thank you, Father God, that I am this, 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 and this, that you are doing this in my life. If you're not, totally fine. Start saying, speak to yourself in the mirror, speak to your name and tell yourself. You know, for me, this started like, God gave this to me, He gave me a download back when I first started having flashbacks from my childhood. And they were very intricate, intense flashbacks from my childhood, okay? Things that no child should have to go through, like being tied to chairs, tortured while sexual things were being done to you, you know, like just really intense things, okay? And I had these flashbacks that were coming in and all these dreams, and I was being tormented. I was being tormented. At this time of my life, I had just gone through a horrible car accident. My health was totally taken from me at the age of 23. And I just had trial after trial that I was going through. And God told me, Kristen, I want you to write down everything that I say about you. And so I did. I wrote it all down. And you know, it took me almost 2 years to start even believing, truly believing in here. Okay, on the outside, we can all put up a facade. You know, you could have met me back in the day and thought, oh God, I didn't think that you were broken at all. Why? Because I was living in such a facade in a self-defense mechanism, but I wasn't being true and pure to myself. I had never dealt with the things from my past. It was just all a ruse on the outside to make people believe that I was this certain person. Well, now you can look at me and you can ask my friends, you can ask my family, they've seen such a dramatic change in me, and that I'm me. Like, what you see is what you get. I'm super real, I'm authentic, I'm gonna give it to you, shoot it straight. Again, I don't judge people where they are. I love all types of people. I come from a crazy wild past. And I've learned through the ugly things how to love myself, how to forgive myself, how to let go of the things that I once thought I was, and really tapping into who I actually am. And that's what this will do. So God started telling me to start speaking it in the mirror, and it took me almost 2 years getting back to that. It took me almost 2 years to start believing in it. So I would look at myself in the mirror and I would say, Kristen, you are beautiful inside and out. Your heart is so pure. You have such a love for other people that it's going to change the world. These were the things that I started speaking over myself. And then I started speaking to you, Kristen, you have a beautiful body. Your body is so pretty. You know, I mean, we all go through different things. People can look at me and be like, oh, you're so skinny and you don't have to worry about anything and you're beautiful and all these things. Well, sure, I fix up nice, you know, but without makeup, I'm pretty. But I'm just going to be real and honest. It's like, you know, you don't feel as good as you do when you're fixed up, okay? Just to be real. And then also, like, I got made fun of for years because of how skinny I was. People that are thicker, you know, they get made fun of and all of that stuff, but I had to deal with being called anorexic my entire childhood. And still to this day, people tell me, gosh, you're so skinny and you're so tall. You know, I'm 5'11". First thing that people see say to me when they see me, gosh, you're tall. You know, so then it gave me a complex. I thought I was too tall. Blah, 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 all these things. I share it with you because we have to really love who we are. Embrace who you are, embrace who God made you, and start loving yourself. So I encourage you, make this list and see if it doesn't start radically changing your life, even in 30 days. But I encourage you to keep doing this. I do this daily. I do it in the morning and I do it at night. I speak life and love and light over myself to remind me who I am and what my purpose is upon this earth. And it gives me an intentionality throughout my day. It reminds me who I am. And it's going to remind you who you are. If you are trying to get through addiction, if you are trying to get through your hard past, things from your past, you're trying to forgive somebody, man, start to do this. I encourage you, start to do this. Okay, start to write down all the amazing things of who you are and all that you carry, and speak them over yourself in the morning and at night. And I guarantee you, you're going to start to see radical changes in your life. You're going to start to love yourself more. You're going to start to love other people more. You're going to start to see a happiness start growing inside of you. It's going to start bubbling up, because we should be nice to ourselves. Okay, and then what happens is it starts to build a standard. Once you start to love yourself, you no longer allow other people to treat you poorly, because you know what you're worth. You start to love yourself, and you don't want to be around the bad things in your life anymore. You don't want to be around the toxic negativity that's in your life anymore, because you've learned how to rise yourself up higher, which is already within you. It's just you got to start believing it. So I encourage you to do this. I hope this blesses you. I love to hear comments on how this is changing your life, if it's working for you. I shouldn't even say if, because I know it works. So it's going to work for you as long as you're doing it. And yeah, and just let me know too, like how it's progressing in your life, like how quickly you're starting to believe these things. I love hearing encouraging testimonies, and you know, a testimony is when you're put through a test, and at the end of it, it becomes your testimony, it becomes your story. So I believe that a lot of people are going to hear this, they're going to start doing it, and they're going to start seeing like, wow, I'm destined for so much more. You just have to believe in who you are, okay? Believe you're powerful. Believe you're lovely. Believe that there is a plan and a purpose upon your life here, okay? All right. Hope this encourages you. Hope it spoke to your heart. Again, share this video if it speaks to you in any way, or if you have somebody that just needs to hear this, maybe it's just a reminder, okay? I hope you guys have a blessed week, blessed day, and I will see you soon. Take care.